on chapter 8b in Paula Arai's book. And actually reading I don't know, is that the epigraph at the beginning here, where she writes, "How can I expand my perspective so I can accept reality as it is and simply be, even in painful circumstances?" I thought right away, oh, that's a definition of upekkha, equanimity, the first or the last, however you want to consider it, of the four Brahma Viharas. And I'm just going to go through here, and there's a lot of great stuff in here. And I actually thought in some ways, maybe I'll try to fold some of this in, but as I got started, I thought, oh, I was on retreat and I gave the closing talk, which is how to bring practice into your daily life. And I thought, oh, that might be a good one to, you know, I was, I had some notes and then I just talked. And so I thought that actually might be a good one for you all, since, and for 4 weeks, you can still practice without me. So in the Sierra, and the site is right where the butte comes up. It's like a mountain. And it's a nature Dharma retreat. So part of it is we sit outside in the morning on the lawn there where the pond is, and then where the butte is. Go and I were up at 5:30, have a coffee, and just sit in the living room, and people come around 6 to start setting up outside. And it's still dark. So we had a lamp on. And then one morning, I said, oh, can we turn this off so that we can see really the darkness becoming more light? Because the butte is in front is the west, and the sun comes from the east. And so as it rises, it lights up the butte, which is a dark mass. And then as the light gets brighter and brighter, it reveals the mountain or the butte. So that's why I said when I turned off the light, I said, can we turn this off so that I'll just call it mountain, that's how it feels to me, reveals itself. And a well-known analogy of awareness is sunlight, where it shines and it reveals what is present. And it really does feel to me that retreat or practice, and when you come to Access to Zen on Monday night, it's like coming on retreat in a way. You're coming to a practice container. That's what a retreat is, right? And what Monday night is, we're coming to a practice container. And you're right away, we're saying we're willing, right? In a way, you don't have to sign up to come to A to Z, but in a way, you are signing up. You make the effort to come. You're being willing to, when you come here, right away we meditate, we sit in awareness, right? So your willingness. So to practice, you have to be willing to let the light of awareness reveal. Hopefully, I hope you just don't come in like, okay, I'm just saying, yeah, no willingness at all, right? That's why I'm like, are you awake? Are you willing? I hope so. I hope so. So what are you willing to do? You're willing to have the awareness. You're saying, I'm entering this container to practice this willingness, which I will take into my life after this hour, this half hour, this hour and a half, even check in, I hope, isn't just bad, 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 right? We practice skillful communication, skillful speech. This, this whole time, I hope, is a way of practicing awareness. There's a sense of maybe not overtly in this container versus a more full retreat, but hopefully there's a sense of you're willing to pay attention, you're pausing, you're before you speak in a way that's connecting. And I had to give a series of talk at night, the encouraging words, and on metta. And I'll admit, at first I was like, okay, metta, sure, I'll just give metta. And I was a little like bored. Okay, metta, yeah, all right. And then I actually kind of got into it because I thought my attitude. You guys know my hindrance, of course, is aversion and ill will. So everything's like, not good enough. It could be different. Mm. And we enter, and actually the part that in this book, maybe I'll go ahead, because the part of the reason I thought, oh, I'll just talk about this, because there's a section on page 100 where she talks about how the thing begins with her really kind of confessing that she didn't really have patience because of her life to let her son just be himself, right? And there's a sense of always things to do. And then she asked for guidance around how to be a kinder, more patient person for her son. And this whole thing about yuruzu, I think is how you say it, for forgiveness is the translation. But on 99 says, has the effect of creating more space in which to move and breathe. When you yuruzu, possibilities expand, making it easier to see from a wider and deeper perspective. So in retreat, as we well know, there's a point in which we pretty much have to forgive ourselves. And in some ways we do, because as we go to page 99 and 100, if you don't really forgive, right, the negativity can build up walls if left raw. It separates that which is interrelated, generating an inherent strain. Maintaining rejection also drains energy away that could be used in other ways. If the negativity is left too long, it will calcify and be harder to clear away. So as Tanaka-san once told me, the task is to make things that are a minus into a plus. To turn things into a plus requires growing to make room. Right? So you need to throw out the past to make room to accept the present. It's about how much you're in touch with the power of boundlessness. If you're sincere, unobstructive, not calculating gain and loss, and let things flow like a stream, then forgiveness and allowing room for things will occur. Water that is hardened will not move. Depending on the matter at hand, you can make room for something by responding with silence, but it is important not to turn an anger in on yourself. As you forgive and make room for the present, your heart melts. The measuring stick you use on yourself is not accurate. It's too limited. If you use your own measuring stick, you get too proud or depressed. So just chant the Heart Sutra and follow the light of Kannon. It is a matter of how far you can bow your head and just be. Then the rest of this next paragraph really feels to me where it talks about essentially what a retreat is, right? An accepting heart is fearless. To accept with fearlessness requires expanding one's perspective far beyond personal details. To be fearless is to be open-minded, magnanimous, and to continuously make room for more. The wisdom of their counsel assisted me in gradually releasing the deeply embedded pain of self-recrimination and bitterness, enabling me to be more fully present to the reality unfolding before me. Although I still pressure myself to be on time and see timeliness as an important expression of respect for others, the words of these wise women also help me to soften into acceptance when my carefully laid plans and timelines don't play out as I'd want it. To me, this really describes a retreat, right? Don't we go on a retreat to settle details of the past, which we're feeling in the present during retreat, to be open to now? Really interesting, you know. And at the beginning of every retreat, we come in and all the stuff comes up, right? We sign up to be on retreat, just like in the way you sign up to come. Mm. And then when you sit with things, you start to go, shit, I could have done that. This stuff happened to me, and all the stuff from the past. What shifts in a retreat is that we are willing to put it in a bigger perspective. It takes actually getting close to it first. You actually have to be with the personal in a very close way. We have to stay focused. We have to be committed to let the light of awareness shine. We have to stay, you have to keep looking. It's interesting, in the morning, I look at it and the light shines on the three main peaks. And first it's like a dark mass, then it becomes this like reddish brown. Then it gets brighter, like a ochre kind of color. But then with more and more light, all the nuances of the surface comes out, doesn't it? What seems flat, pain, it's like this. My problem is like this. It's just like a solid mass without any distinction. But as we pay attention, as more light of awareness shines on it, the nuances of it come out. And it's interesting, just after one morning, the next morning I realize I'm still in awe, and I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for it to, because at first it's on the three peaks, then it seemed like it spread to the left and more of those peaks, right? It's being revealed. Then it starts to come down from the top to the bottom. And yet, after just one day, I'm like, okay, now it's going to go over there, it's going to go over there. And then it's going to come down like this, right? Like I'm already deciding how it's going to go, as opposed to being present with what the light of awareness is showing. So part of practice is to keep letting go. Yes, we stay focused, but we have to let go of the stories that come up. We think we know what the light of awareness will reveal to us. That my pain is like this. This is what happened to me. And I'm not saying that those things aren't important. Our practice is the willingness to let awareness reveal what it reveals. Mm. We settle the details of the past not by regurgitating over and over the same story, though that's what we notice, isn't it, in retreat? Oh, there goes that story again. Story again. We notice that by, how we project things onto situation, onto people. Mm. So we have to, part of the light of awareness is the awareness of the pattern of what we make of what is being revealed to us. So we notice that, then we also have to notice letting go of that. The willingness to be able to let it go. Interesting, because when I did that one morning, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let it, and just paying attention to let it come down the way it's going to come down. Because the day before, I was painting the picture of how it comes down, like in my mind's eye, right? And I was so surprised because there were some peaks all the way to the right that I hadn't even noticed. They weren't so prominent, so my eyes didn't go there, but that got lit up way before it went down. Mhm. So when I was able to notice the detail of how I keep putting the details of my life or how I think things should be on there, when I can be in that openness, letting things reveal, new things showed itself to me. And it was the same. People come, they tell the content of their story, and there were, very heartfelt. And it's not that the stories are wrong, mind you, or shouldn't be. I'm not saying that at all. But as retreat goes on, sure, there was interpretation, but what, for the most part, that felt like an aha for people was actually the ways in which they related to the stories. It opened up more understanding of conditions for how X, Y, or Z happen, or be it to them, or be it how they interpreted things before, and how there is new ways. And a lot of those were like, yes, I could have done something different, but I didn't know. I didn't know I could have do it different. Or I wasn't able to do it different. So that acceptance, we spend so much of our times in the past going, I should have, I should have, I should have, I should have. What one way that we practice forgiving ourselves is we see the bigger picture. Oh, I learned it like that. Conditions were like that. Sure, there's still choice, there's still agency, but we see it in a bigger context, that we were limited. Then, isn't that true? All the then is limited. The suffering we can do something about is we keep going, okay, here's the story, it goes like this, and we keep thinking it could be different. But it already happened. Already happened mean the limits already happened. But I keep pounding at it, hoping the limits were different. If only the limits were different, it would have been a different path. Isn't that true? And that's, I mean, a lot. I'm not saying all. And then in retreat or in practice, you go, oh, that's the way it was. The wisdom isn't that necessarily I could do something different. The wisdom is I have more discernment now. I have more wisdom now. I know I have more choices now. I know I have more agency now. That's when we go, we become more sane, right? Isn't the definition of insanity? Things happen, you keep thinking you don't learn anything. You don't see how you can do it in a different way. Notice I'm very careful. I'm not saying better, right? So that actually, this section here that I just read to you at the end, I called it fearlessness, right? It says, an accepting heart is fearlessness. When we can accept how things were, we have so much fear about what happened, what we could have done, what kind of person we were. So much of practice in retreat, in the fruit of practice, as we accept ourselves as we were and as we are, with the understanding, the more you can accept yourself as you are, given the ways you were conditioned from the past, the more you have courage to say, I have agency to do things differently now. And I'm able to, and I know I have choice. In some ways, what we take away from retreat, and what I hope you take away from every Monday night, is that you have choice. What we see is what did we sacrifice? Yeah, there is a thing where you say, do I sacrifice that I have choice? Do I sacrifice my peace of mind? Do I sacrifice calmness? Do I sacrifice love to keep doing the same thing? Do I sacrifice clarity by just following my habitual pattern because it's so much easier to not think about it, to blame myself or blame others or blame conditions? Hmm? The more you realize that your life is about choice, the more awake you are. That's hard, isn't it? Shit. No one to blame, not even myself, right? If I'm aware I have choice or that there's choice here and I'm committed to it, it's not about, our problem is we think, oh, there's a right choice, there's a right choice. But I'm hoping with practice you realize having choice is the wisdom, not the result of your choice, because you do not have that much control. There are many causes and conditions. We make the best choice we can. And if we don't sacrifice our values in the choice, if we don't sacrifice ourselves as we make choice, as we don't sacrifice others, if we don't sacrifice time, if we don't sacrifice responsibility, then the chances of a choice being something we can live with and feel good about, and the calmness of it and the settledness of it is more likely to continue, doesn't it? Or maybe not. Try it out this month. Mhm. Hopefully you've been trying it out, but I'm saying, hey, it's a vacation. You got to practice choice for a whole month here. You don't got me to blame. You're going to say, oh, this week, last Monday, I learned this, and so this is what I'm practicing. Shit, didn't work. Reverend Lynn got it wrong again. Hmm? Or, one of my sangha mates said something, and that was such a good idea. That's so much wisdom. I'm going to practice it, and shit, it didn't work. Hmm? This week, what are you not willing to sacrifice? Maybe that's another way to put it. What are you not willing to sacrifice? Or, positive, which will you cultivate or grow, attend to, love, care, nourish? Mhm. Let's see, there's something about compassion in here too, which I really like. Oh, well, let's not forget. I love it. Oh, both of these on page 108, an auspicious number. Our body, heart, mind are always in the present, where reality is just as it is. I bear repeating. Our body, heart, and mind are always in the present, where reality is just as it is. We cannot be anywhere else. You are alive. Since healing only occurs in the present, this is a felicitous aspect of our condition. And then at the bottom there, compassion too requires the body, heart, mind to move in a particular way to alleviate suffering. Compassion is not a general activity. It involves definite actions with a particular form and context. Reaching out to someone who has fallen will not help them if you are not close enough to touch them or strong enough to pull them. Compassion is a highly contextualized current event. So if you want to practice compassion, you have to be close enough. If you're practicing self-compassion, you have to be present for yourself, don't you? Are you willing? And then the last of the chapter. All healing activities only happen in the present. Accepting this condition is vital because we always have the choice to be focused elsewhere. The more we abide in the present, the more we can engage in activities that heal. For the most part, it was it was beautiful weather. It was very clear. So as the sun rose and onto the butte, onto the mountain peaks, that's what I paid attention to, the peaks. And then one morning, it was cloudy. At first the sky was gray. And because the sky was gray, I noticed the sky. Otherwise, I was just like, oh, it's blue. I'm just paying attention. So in some ways, it's the difficulties in life, the unfortunate things, right? That shows up the details of our lives, right? Sometimes we think, oh, it's all bad, it's all bad. But when we pay attention, mm. And then the other thing was it was cloudy. And so at first it was like gray clouds, but as the sun came up, the light shining on the clouds made them like on fire, right? The brightness. And in fact, the clouds, so you could really see their dimensionality, that they're not just flat things that were gray, right? As more light shine on it, not just like this way, but fully, the more full the sun. At first, it's just made them bright. But as more and more light came up, the dimensionality of the clouds also came into being. That they had depth. That's they were not just flat. So if we're willing to let the light of awareness and we keep paying attention, which takes staying, takes continuity of awareness or continuity of time, which means diligence, commitment, stamina. Mm. And then actually the dimensionality of our lives show up. Shows the smooth spots, the crevices, the waterfall that you can't see, the trees, the color of the butte change, right? I don't have all the words. I could say umber, I could say ochre, I could say, but I'm limited, right? We're limited by our descriptor, but if we pay attention, the dimensionality doesn't have to be labeled, but certainly it shows itself. So the question is, are you awake? Are you willing? Are you aware? You have choice. Willing is one thing. Choice is enacting your willingness. Willing can be passive. Oh, I was willing, but just not it's not the right condition, not the right time. I'm not the right energy. I don't have the right. And some of those are worth listening to. I'm not saying, but I know. I'm always looking for though, but it's not the right. So this is where commitment or courage, whatever word works for you. Those are the words I'm thinking of. Okay? To keep on enacting your choice. I ended up, I said, oh, don't forget, the form of the retreat is something you can just take home, all this setup. And don't forget, the last part is you signed up for this. In a way, our practice is to realize we signed up to be alive. Or maybe it seems more, we signed up to know that we're alive. To be aware that we are alive, that we are fully alive. So you're already alive. Are you willing to live fully? Don't just practice living fully. This practice We are our own teachers. The Buddha said when he was dying, be a lamp unto yourself. Right? The light of awareness you already have. No one can take it away from you. So this month or 4 weeks, you are your own teacher. I have complete faith and confidence in you. And my wish for you is you will strengthen your own faith and confidence in yourself and your life. Thank you very much for living.